about that. Not when I had so much else on my mind. It was now 8:15 a.m. Maybe 2 hours at the hospital, then back home to get dressed. I could still meet with Troy before court and explain the plea offer to him. And there was Charlie. I needed Denise to bring him to my office so I could prep him again before Carol's further examination. I was afraid of the damage she might do to the young boy. When we arrived at the hospital, they wheeled me in on the gurney, right into an examination room. The doctor came in almost immediately. He looked at my clothes and said, "Out for a run?" He removed my shoe and sock, pressing hard with his thumb. "Can you feel that?" "Yeah, that hurts." "It might be broken," he said. "I don't have time for that," I said, which made him chuckle. After a half hour, they wheeled me into an x-ray room, covered everything except my ankle with a lead blanket, and took some pictures. Then, back to the examination room. Things had moved along pretty swiftly up to this point, but I should have known that was too good to last. I ended up waiting for another half hour. At long last, the doctor finally returned. "Good news and bad news," he announced. "The good news is that the break is clean, so we don't need to do any surgery or insert pins or anything." Damn it, so there was a break. "What's the bad news?" He grinned and said, "It's broken." I didn't laugh. I was thinking about what this meant for the trial. And of course, there's also a bad sprain. I can write a prescription for some painkillers if you want them. I don't. Hell no. I needed my head clear. He shrugged, as if that was what he'd expected me to say. "In that case, ibuprofen, ice, keep it elevated, and stay off of it." They fitted me with a plastic boot and gave me crutches, along with a lecture about giving it 6 weeks to heal before starting rehab. I didn't have the heart to say I knew about rehab. I had been doing it for a year. After the nurse adjusted the crutch height, I hobbled out to the front desk to take care of paying, only to realize I didn't have my credit card. I felt tears of anger and frustration welling up. Troy needed me, and here I was, fumbling around at the hospital, the pain overwhelming my ability to think clearly. Why did I go for a run? The trial would be over in a week, and I could exercise then. "We can send you a bill," the clerk said, taking pity on me as I wiped my eyes. I glanced at the clock behind the desk and saw it was only 9:30 a.m. Sean might not arrive for another hour. I stood up from the chair and felt the blood rush to my ankle, the pain getting even worse, making my teeth clench. With my luck, I'd end up with a dental injury by the end of this. I needed a distraction. And suddenly, I found myself thinking of Benny, still lying unconscious in this very hospital. I could visit him. I had an hour to kill before Sean arrived, and then I could report to Troy how his son was doing. What a blessing it would be for him if there was good news. So, with my ankle roaring in pain, I crutch-walked down to the elevator. On the 3rd floor, I asked the desk nurse for Benny Weaver's room. Her jaw dropped as soon as I said his name. "How did you know?" "Know what?" "I was in the ER. I'm a family friend and thought I should visit." "Why? Did something happen?" "Oh God, please don't let it be bad news." "His vitals spiked this morning. We think he might be waking up." I stared at her a moment, trying to grasp the enormity of what she said. Benny was waking up? "Have you called his mom?" "Denise should be here." "Yes, she's on her way." My mind flooded with thoughts. "Is he okay?" I said. "I mean, is there, any damage?" She knew what I meant. Brain damage. "It's too early to tell. There will be a lot of tests. He's not even fully awake yet." "Can I see him?" She shook her head. "Restricted access for now. If his mom says it's okay, then yes." She pointed behind me to some seats and a couch. "The waiting area's over there." I hobbled over, glad to sit and put my foot up on the coffee table, letting the blood drain and release some of the pressure and pain. My mind was racing with the ramifications of Benny waking up. Denise and Troy could get their son back. And Troy's case. Benny could be Troy's alibi. He could corroborate that Troy didn't go to the coach's house. Of course, Carol would say it was just another son lying for Troy. But at this point, Benny didn't even know his dad was charged with murder. He had no incentive to lie. At least, not yet. If I could get Benny's statement before he knew about the charges, Carol couldn't attack him. I sat there, waiting for Denise to step off the elevator. After almost 15 minutes, there she was, carrying Charlie. "Denise!" I yelled, struggling to my feet. "Maggie? What are you doing here?" She looked at my crutches. "What happened? Are you okay?" "It doesn't matter," I said. "I heard about Benny. What amazing news. But before you go in there, we need to talk." I was rushing my words, knowing she wanted to see her son. "I know Troy went to see Benny on the night of the murder. He can help Troy with his case if we handle this right." "No!" She almost screamed at me. "You are not bringing Benny into this!" She hugged Charlie tight to her chest and rushed past me toward the nurse's desk. To the nurse, she said, "Do not let her into Benny's room," pointing at me. Then she continued down the hall. The nurse at the desk stepped out from behind the desk, as if to physically block me from following Denise. She must be a mom. Sean brought me home and helped me take a quick shower, which was awkward and painful and difficult. My rushing made it worse. "Take it slow," Sean kept saying, but I ignored him, even when I almost fell off the edge of the bed while putting on slacks. "You're lucky it's your left ankle." "Yeah, things are really going my way." "It's your left ankle, so you can drive?" Oh, he was right. "And we need to talk about the fact that you didn't tell me about this driver harassing you." I closed my eyes, not wanting to get into it now. I didn't put it together until a little while ago. "You could have gotten seriously injured, Maggie. Or worse." Worry and condemnation were rolling off Sean in waves. "You're right, and I'm sorry. I didn't think there was any connection to my cases. It's not like this is Chicago." I knew I was being defensive, but thankfully, Sean didn't call me on my shit. He wrapped his arms around me in a tight hug and kissed the top of my head. "You're right. This isn't Chicago. But that doesn't mean bad things don't happen here, too, Ms. Defense Attorney. I'll let you finish getting ready." When I was finally dressed, he walked with me out to my car and stood by as I fumbled my way inside, putting the crutches in the back seat. The big boot fit under the dashboard, barely. "I'll follow you to your office, just to make sure you're okay," Sean said. "No, I need to go to the jail and meet with Troy." "Okay. Before you go, I just thought of something." He rushed back inside and then returned with a Tupperware container. "You haven't eaten yet, and it's almost noon." 2 pieces of leftover pizza. "Where would I be without you?" I said, tears welling for the second time this morning as I leaned out to kiss him. Forcing the tears away, I put the car in gear. I needed to meet with Troy before they brought him to court. Chapter 43. So much for that plan. By the time I got to the jail, they were already taking Troy to court, leaving me to hobble my way to the courthouse. What happened, Miss Gallagher? Don't ever